Hi there. So, since Harry and Meghan seem to be keeping themselves rather low key, shockingly, and I really had no interest in covering Harry's birthday celebrations because I don't believe anything that we've actually been told about it, I thought it was a good time to check in on the Lemon Rats. And in particular, I wanted to see what Tissa Tells was up to. And the reason I'm kind of focusing on this, I mean, it's absolutely absurd, and you'll probably be just disgusted by it, but it was a nice short piece, so it was a good one to do because you could see the whole context of everything she says. I mean, for the most part, the things that they do, I have to kind of cut them up because otherwise, between their 40-minute video and my commentary, that'd just be too long and drawn out, and no one needs to hear them this much of the Lemon Rats. So I thought this was a good one. It's only about 12 minutes long, and the title of it is Weird and Creepy. Kate made a horror movie. So, I mean, obviously, this is going to be a disgusting display, so fair warning on that. But I thought this was still a good one to let us know exactly what it is that the Lemon Rats are up to. And I hope you like my new Lemon Rats thumbnail.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Kate, y'all, Southern Squad, what's up? Come in, we gotta talk, right?
Well, fortunately for them, the Sussex Squad won't be hearing about anyone named Kate because the person they're going to talk about is Catherine, not Kate. But you know how that goes with them.
Whatever, baby, we ain't holding any bars. If anybody wants to play holier than thou, I wish her well. Please go wish her well outside, baby. We talking. Y'all sit down. Kate announced that she's completed her chemotherapy, but she also didn't say she was cancer free. And she also put out a video that looks like her eulogy. It looks like something you play at a circa 2017 editing app, circa 2019 Pinterest board, circa it's your obituary. Y'all, let's get into this.
Now, just from the way she says circa, I don't think she has a clue what that means. But I mean, you say circa when you're talking about something that was maybe 20 or 30 years ago. You don't say circa 5 years ago. I mean, she's just so foolish. It's frightening to me. Somehow this woman always ends up devolving into a caricature of herself. It's very bizarre.
Because we got to talk about it. Kate announced she's free of cancer, but she also posted the weirdest, weirdo, creepy video that I have ever seen.
Oh, Tissa, you really are going to make me work for it today. Did she or did she not just announce 30 seconds ago that Catherine didn't say she was cancer free? She only said that she was done with her treatment. And now she just said Catherine announces that she's cancer free. You really have to make up your mind. Maybe go a little bit easier on whatever it is that you're doing that makes you this crazy.
Right? This is weird. On top of that, Philip Lewis on Twitter said, London AP said, Kate Princess of Wales has completed chemotherapy and will return to a light program of public engagement. So before we get into that story, I want to say this. Why are they wording that way instead of just saying how she is now cancer free? Now, some people said it's so they can have their other get out of jail free card. And whenever William decides to make Kate go missing, they have an excuse, right? But this is how all this stuff started. They are weird they get weird, the royals, over the weirdest things, right?
This woman's ADD, I mean, she literally doesn't even finish sentences. She's now switched from like three different topics in a matter of 10 seconds. Are we talking about the article? Are we talking about the whatever get out of jail free card she thinks that they're using? What is she talking about? Because she's flipped between three different subjects already.
Stuff like this is why Where's Kate and Kate's missing was actually why it like kind of like went overboard and blew up. If they would have just acted normally instead of splitting hairs, no one outside of the royal watchers would have noticed. Like they lie at the drop of a hat. So just say she's cancer free instead of playing with games.
Yes, yes. You heard that right. It is now the palace's fault that the whole Where's Kate thing happened. It's not the Sussex Squad's fault. who made it up. It's not the media's fault for picking it up. It's not people like Kim Kardashian or Blake Lively's fault or Stephen Colbert or any of those people. No, 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 no. It's the palace's fault, right? Because it's never, ever, ever their own fault. They're always innocent and they are always the victim.
like playing these dumb word games. I will say we're about to get into the video. Being cancer free doesn't mean the cancer won't come back like it often does. Again, look at this video. And after I saw this video, I said, yeah, she ain't never going back to royal work. Listen to this. Hold on. Let me put this on the big screen. Max, you lead the way.
As the summer comes to an end, I cannot tell
It looks like they are trotting out to bury someone. I don't know. It's just giving creepy. I know they think it looks idyllic. Baby, it is giving creepy.
you what already
Well, well, well. If that isn't the pot calling the kettle black. Talk about creepy. This woman who can't keep her thoughts straight, she creeps me out far more than anything that I saw in Catherine's video, to be sure. And how is it that walking through the woods is walking out to a funeral? I mean, I really would like to spend, well, I was going to say spend a day in Tissa's head, but I'm pretty sure I can only stand about an hour. But just an hour to see how those thoughts work.
relief it is to have finally completed my chemotherapy treatment.
Now, this was a dig at Megan because Megan said they wouldn't let her drive, took away her passport, her license, everything. So they do this weird thing to always show Kate driving to show that Megan couldn't drive, but the queen can drive wherever she wants, or the queen to be. It's also weird because Kate looks healthier than she's looked in the last 2 years. I know everybody's saying cancer. Kate needs to share who her doctor is because you look healthier than we've ever seen you.
The last
I may just be a stupid American, but correct me if I'm wrong. Did not the Queen and Catherine, and in fact Princess Diana, often drive long before anybody knew who Meghan was? I mean, this isn't new, and it's not done to take a dig at Meghan. It's the way they have always been. And if it's a dig in any way, shape, or form, it's not to say, look, she couldn't drive, but they can. No, if the only dig it could be is to say, see, this moron said it was that she wasn't allowed to drive, but she was. It says that she lied. But of course, that's never allowed to be a consideration, right?
9 months have been incredibly tough for us as a family. Life as you know it can change in an instant, and we've had to find a way to navigate the stormy waters and road unknown.
And William and Kate are so weird together. I get it. Kate's walking with her head bowed. Maybe that's supposed to be like, oh, she's still delicate, but it's just weird. And look at the way Kate's trying to like push forward and William's holding her back. He don't like that woman walking in front of him.
When I hear this woman's interpretation of a normal family, I just feel a lot of empathy for her because I assume she just never had normal. I mean, that's got to be part of the reason that she acts the way she does. I mean, because no matter what, and I don't think that she necessarily believes everything that she says, Tissa tells. I believe that it is a great deal of it is an act, and she just makes stuff up as she goes along. But I mean, the woman really must be pretty unhappy and must have had a pretty unhappy life in order to be able to make up these stories, even.
The cancer journey is complex, scary,
This is the awkward language. Kate is literally like, because they're sitting there and William, like, she's like, and he's patting her hand. They have the weirdest body language. Let's continue. Oh, wait. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Back to the
the cancer
weirdo body
journey is
language.
complex, scary, and unpredictable for everyone, especially those closest to you.
William was looking like, are there any rose bushes?
How many times does the Rose narrative need to be debunked before they just give it up? I mean, do the people that are a part of the Sussex Squad, do they get joy out of that? And yes, I intentionally used that word joy. I mean, it really seems like they want that to be the case. Why? I mean, there's literally no issue that I know of that we have heard of definitively that either Harry or Meghan have cheated on anybody. So why must they push that narrative? This innocent woman should not be involved in this stupid rumor created by these lunatics.
Just in as far as
With humility, it also brings you face to face with your own vulnerabilities in a way you've never considered before. And with that, a new perspective on everything.
looks like the same old perspective.
Is this filming?
Hello? Hello?
This time has above all reminded William and me to reflect and be
William can't take it. Look at this man's face. He is being held hostage, like, and Kate is still giving him them evil eyes. But let's continue because I do want to say this as you watch it. I really hope everybody that's just like, she's a human being, feels stupid. Now, here's the thing. If Kate survived, it was God's will. Clearly, God willed it. But the fact that these people, she is a billionaire's wife. She has given zero back to the community. Even her going on engagements, she only goes if she gets paid, if she's working.
Now, let's pretend for an instant that that's true. Yes, don't come at me in the comments. I know it's not true that they don't accept a salary, blah blah blah. They honestly don't need to accept a salary because she's right. They're billionaires. So, as billionaires, they don't need to do anything. So I don't understand. I mean, they could go live peaceful lives free of work for the rest of their lives and the rest of their children's lives and the rest of their children's children's lives. So why on earth do you not see that they are still doing something even though they don't have to? And if she did get it, if she did accept a salary for it, I know she didn't. I'm just saying, if what's the problem with that? Isn't that what Megan was saying should have happened? I mean, rules for thee, but not for me. I mean, everything with these people is just blatant hypocrisy. And I really wish someone would like bang it into their skulls. Catherine doesn't ever need to work another day in her life if she doesn't want to. Her husband is a billionaire. So anything she chooses to do, she's choosing to do because she feels a duty for it or she feels a passion for it. I don't get why they don't understand that.
She gives zero back to the community. On top of that, all this land they're on, they own it. They own billions. And I don't care what anybody says, they didn't give a penny to anybody underserved or in need that is actually going through cancer and has to work or go through this stuff.
And she's wrong there. And she's wrong there on many levels. For number one, they have absolutely donated to cancer research long before this. And number two, the woman literally just finished treatment. I mean, and she should have already, donated time and money to the. I mean, she's just recovered. Give her a break. King Charles still isn't recovered. Give them time. I have no doubt we're going to hear them start to champion some of these causes in the future. I mean, it's just so insane. What has Megan done for women with disabilities and MS? What has Harry done for cancer? His father has cancer. What has he done for cancer in the last 6 months? It's just ludicrous.
Again, they've showed us who they are. It put it in a new perspective. What's important? Money, power, and harassing Meghan and Harry. But let's continue.
And this is where I start to get really mad. No, that's misinformation. You are telling them intentionally the wrong thing. You are literally having them watch this video and then telling them what their eyes and ears see and hear is not true. She's saying family is important, love is important, people are important, relationships are important, and the rest of it is all just trappings. And these people are so fundamentally flawed within themselves that they can't see that. And the problem is that they feed this narrative to willing idiots. That's the only thing I can say. They have to be. Because you cannot watch that video and get out of it that all they want in life is power and money. Unless you are intentionally looking for that narrative. And I think that's what they are. They're looking for that narrative. They could have been at a beach. They could have been in a forest. They could have been in a city. They could have been in the middle of the mountains. And these people would have tried to find a way to be critical of it. Yeah, they're on their land. Who cares? They're allowed to be. It's their land. That's kind of how it works.
And be grateful for the simple yet important things in life, which so many of us often take for granted, of simply loving and being loved.
The Middletons. That's right, because Carol was going to get a photo op.
Doing what I can to stay cancer-free is now my focus. Although I have finished chemotherapy, my path to healing and full recovery is long, and I must continue to take each day as it comes. I am, however, looking forward to being back at work.
She made a weird obituary fan fiction novel of her own greatness. Back at work, all you do is show up and mumble, y'all.
I cannot even. Pot kettle. What do you do, Tisa? You show up at work and you do nothing but lie. You make shit up. None of what you say is true or accurate. But you're going to criticize someone. There's like 6 more minutes, and it's going to be a struggle to get through them.
Y'all should have never made her feel important because
And undertaking a few more public engagements in the coming months when I can.
a few more public engagements in the coming months when she can. So we'll see her together at Christmas. Isn't it funny? In the beginning, a lot of people are like, oh my God, that's just rumors. But they told us that's the thing about royals. When they come out with a story the first time, believe it, because then they walk it back after they see public outcry. They said Kate wouldn't even be close to even showing her face again until late fall, and she wouldn't be back until 2025.
No, the only people that said fall were you lunatics, and you pulled that up out of your behinds, and you just got lucky that you were right. But the worst thing on earth is that they were right because now they think that they have some inside ability to control things. And it's a very frightening thought to have the Sussex squad being able to predict or being able to define what actually does happen. And that's why I take exception to the palace not stepping in some way, not necessarily with these YouTubers. I mean, they can't do anything about Tissa Tells, but they should be doing something with Harry and Meghan and telling them that these people need to stop. The fact that they don't tells me that there's some sort of support in it. Censorship. If nobody is being nasty online, what's there to censor? Then you're only censoring ideas. So have these lunatics out here saying horrible, nasty things that motivate people to say, yeah, they need to be stopped. How do you do it? You do it through censorship. And when you censor Tissa Tells, you censor people with good ideas. As I'm sure most of you know, when was science able to make the most advances? Well, it was after the invention of the printing press, because by spreading the word, other people could contribute and argue and debate, and nobody was reinventing the wheel, all sorts of things like that, that through the invention of the printing press, science was able to move faster. And, when you're talking about things like censorship, you're eliminating discussion that can lead to positive ends.
Despite all that's gone before,
This is the healthiest and youngest Kate has looked in 2 years. And y'all really gonna tell me this woman didn't have plastic surgery? But maybe, lesser mortals can't have chemo and plastic surgery.
entered
Oh, imagine that. Catherine looks healthier after she's recuperated from a life-threatening disease than she did before. Hmm. Well, that's just a brain twister now, isn't it, Tissa? God, these people.
This new phase of recovery
I thought
with a
you said new face.
renewed sense of hope and appreciation of life. William and I are so grateful for the support we've
They are
received
so weird.
and have drawn great strength from all those who are helping us at this time. Everyone's kindness, empathy, and compassion has been truly humbling.
Now, they are saying that this was quote unquote a response to all of the press and the rumors that have been circulating. I don't agree with that. I think this video was a thank you to the people who supported her. I don't read too much into the. I mean, I could definitely be wrong. I could just be deluding myself. But I think this characterization that this was, any sort of a clapback about the rumors or anything like that. No, I choose to look at the positive, that this was saying thank you to everybody that was supporting us. You haven't seen me, you've been clamoring for me, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that I'm okay, so that you can see that your support and your love and your encouragement meant something to me.
This is so weird.
To all those who are continuing their own cancer journey, I remain
You
with
guys.
you, side by side, hand in hand.
American, we look at the little logistics behind videos. First of all, let me just say this, right? They need to fire whoever's decision was to shoot this video in this way. How
Nope, sorry. It's not because you're American. It's because you're a money grubbing fool. I am able to watch that video and not think about who it was that filmed it, produced it, or whether or not they should be fired.
many fake happy scenes can you have? Do you know the level of weirdness to be like skipping along for almost 4 minutes with a camera in their face? We all know what camcorders look like. This wasn't outtakes. It was literally propaganda about the way she's been challenged and now she's going to let her light shine. But what are you doing for everybody that actually funded your lifestyle? And I
So, did Tissa have the same problem with the propaganda of the Netflix documentary and Harry and Meghan skipping along around Big Sur? I mean, where does she draw the line? Oh, that's right. She doesn't draw a line. Everything is hypocrisy. Every pot is a kettle called black. Whatever. This woman is crazy. I'm sorry, but you cannot say that one is propaganda and not say the same about the other because they did the exact same thing.
don't care about people saying, "Oh my God, let her heal." You heard her herself in the weird thing. So you don't have cancer anymore. You're healed, but in the coming months, you need time to recover. Take all the time you need. I know Rose is saying that anyway, right? What's my first thought? This is odd and creepy.
She's been giving her thoughts for 10 minutes, but now we're getting to her first thought? Like, I can't even make this stuff up.
Why did they choose to shoot the video in this style? They really overdid it with the random shots of Kate standing in the weeds and touching things like her soul's leaving her body. Second, her and William are super awkward together, and it gives creepy secession vibes or a horror movie vibe. But let me tell you why I think that Kate, let me know in the comments.
I'm sorry, I can't hold back on how moronic this woman is. No, she means abdication vibes, not succession vibes, abdication vibes. And she's wrong, but at least she should get the right words. She's just.
What you think, but let me tell you why I think Kate's not going to return to work anytime soon. We're just going to see William's going to be zooming and Kate's going to be making like horror movies circa Pinterest 2019. Princess Kate is doing what I can to stay cancer free. It's now my focus. How do you focus on staying cancer free? I'm confused because if you know it, can you please share it with the National Health Services? Can you share it with American Can you share it with the cancer sufferers of the world. How do you stay cancer free? Because we haven't been able to figure that out in America. How do you do what you can to stay cancer free? Listen, let's get into this. Um,
So she's spoken for 10 minutes, given us her first and second thought, and now we're going to get into it, right? Now we're going to get into it.
I'm doing what I can to stay cancer free is now my focus. Although I've finished chemotherapy, my path to healing and full recovery is long, and I must continue to take each day as it comes. I'm, however, looking forward to being back to work and undertaking a few more public engagements in the coming months when I can. Listen, let me tell you something. When are we going to find out what really happened? Who's going to write a tell all book? I'm guessing when George is king, we'll actually find out what happened this last year. Do I think that Kate is psychologically depleted? I don't know. I just know that everything they've told us up to this point has been exposed to be lies. Even the whole Where's Kate thing, where I really thought they did something to her because they literally were putting out fake AI videos.
If I were her, I wouldn't advertise that she really thought they were doing something to her because this woman was gleeful when she would report on what had happened to Catherine. So if she was truly a believer that something was wrong with her, then she's a sick, twisted individual because then she shouldn't have been gleeful through the process.
Um, Again, to me, this seems like an obituary. And when I say obituary, I mean of knowing Kate as a queen. Remember I said they always put an article in to let you know what they're thinking. Remember there was an article that said William is beside himself now that Kate is sick and she's refusing to do her royal duties. He doesn't know what that looks like. I think maybe this is a phase out. Maybe Kate's going to be Royal Lodge. I really don't know. I just know this was weird. This was creepy. So that said, it was definitely on brand for the Windsors. Um, Again, the affection, they overdid it. They overdid the happiness. All I saw was a camcorder in their face, and they're like, is this thing on? As if they're taping it themselves when there is a whole camera crew following behind them and doing all this stuff. They can't.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I will actually give her that one. I do kind of agree that it was a little bit ridiculous to be acting as though they were, the only people around or whatever, when in actuality, they very much so were clearly being filmed, and this was very much so a produced segment. I mean, so I will, because I got to give her something. I got to throw her a bone of some sort. And that's the one thing that I will say. Yeah, it obviously wasn't as private as they pretended it or portrayed it to be. Not that I think it's a big deal. I'm just saying I do kind of agree with her on that one.
Be serious. We all know what Daz Cam looks like. Anyway, right? Um, I do know that at the end of the day, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
So there we go. There's Tissa Tells. That's what she has to say about this whole video and the current situation. And like I said, I think it's very important. I would not suggest or recommend or even want myself for people to listen to them on a daily basis, but I do check in with them regularly. And I do that because the only way to avoid being an echo chamber ourselves is to make sure that we can still listen to what they say. We may not agree with them, and that's okay. But if we don't know what they're saying, we can't say we don't agree with them. We can't just say it from a echo chamber of our own where we only listen to our own thoughts and only listen to our own ideas. Because if we do that, then we're not spreading any ideas, we're not critically thinking. And critical thinking is a skill just like, say, a language. If you go out and you learn a language and then you don't use it, you lose that skill. Critical thinking is the same thing. And so, unless we can think about what they're saying, unless we can hear what they're saying, we can't really condemn it because we don't know what it is. Only by listening and being able to say, no, this is where their logic is incorrect. That's when we can say we thought about it and here's why we here's where we found the flaws in their logic and here's why. That's my feeling at least. And obviously I know that this doesn't appeal to everybody and I know a lot of people just can't even stand listening to it and I don't blame you. I understand it, but I do recommend that every now and then you play one of these just so that you can make sure that your critical thinking skill is still in place. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you all have a great day. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you.
Don't make me go Cobra. I will go Oprah on your ass. Don't make me.